Hey, all you cool cats and kittens, welcome to this afternoon edition of Benzinga's Pre-Market Prep. Spencer Israel, Joel Elconin, Hot Stocks, Luke, Jacobi joining us for the next few minutes or so. I would say, guys, all things considered, it's been a pretty quiet day out there. The S&Ps are down, 2.5%, but the range is pretty small. Not a lot happened from like 8 a.m. to 12:30. Joel, walk us through this market.
Yeah, it is kind of a weird day. You did take out that pre-market low and you just undercut the low from yesterday, not by much. Yesterday's low 52.50. Today we went to 51 and a quarter. And then someone just made a huge stand there. For much of the morning, we just traded in the upper 27.50 handle, and then we caught a bid. It looked like we were going to press that 2,800 level. I was looking for that mid-range on the session. You didn't get it. You got turned back at 92.75, and now you're just back in the middle of the range for the session. So just a hard, choppy trade today. The morning when you thought we were really going to bottom was going to fall out, it didn't happen, and then the afternoon it looked really good, and we fell off. We could talk about crude here in a minute. If you're looking at the contracts, folks, June is the front month contract. It will be starting next week, and there's a rollover going on. So 78 cents, it's down. That's what the June contract is at 26.63. Whereas the May made a new low for the move, the June didn't, and it has a lot to do with the rollover. Gold in the red by $23.80, giving back some of the gains from earlier in the week. Silver in the red as well by 49 cents at 1564. And Bitcoin is down 190 bucks at 6,770 or 6,760. Spencer, we got you want to cover some stocks from this morning?
Yeah, I do. I want to start first. I guess it's been a while since we caught up with Luke. So, Luke, since we last spoke, you still have a screwed up camera, but you have a very good microphone. So,
Yeah,
thanks for getting that.
I'm halfway there. Everybody in the chat was making fun of me for having poor audio. So I'm glad to have this part at least resolved, and now the camera will be the next step.
Yeah.
And in terms of stock ideas too, you cannot buy a webcam right now. I checked a couple different websites, and they're all, a couple weeks out from being able to be delivered. So we talked about Wayfair. They got that work from home pop with everybody buying stuff. Maybe there are some other names, some technology names like a Best Buy or something along those lines that will surprise us with something similar.
Let's look at Best Buy. I have not pulled this one up on my screen in a couple of weeks at least. I'm just curious what's happened here. Okay, it's really just moving with the rest of the market.
Yeah, a relative performance, though, not quite the rebound that you had. This stock hit an all-time high at 91.83. You hit 48 bucks. So let's just call that, 40-point break. So to get up into the 60 area, I guess you did get some of those losses back. But here's an issue that's just in the heart of the, retail mess. Stores are not open. Who knows when they're going to be open? But you got a little, if you're looking to buy this, it looks like you are pulling back from that recent high.
Yep. And a silver lining for a retailer like Best Buy is that I bet that they do better than a lot of the other ones with the products they sell. Like if we're talking about like a Kohl's, I bet there's a much fewer people buying clothes online versus, somebody ordering a webcam or they need a new computer or something along those lines.
Right. And the other side of that, though, is oftentimes, new computers, new phones, these are big purchases that people save up for. So who knows how that could be impacted by a recession that we're heading into now. Did you see that Walmart said that they're selling way more shirts than pants online?
No.
Yeah, Walmart said their orders for shirts are way higher, disproportionately so, than orders for pants. So interpret that how you will. Luke, it's been a while since we spoke, though. I want to get your overall market thoughts on how this past week has sort of has been.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a wild one. You know, we crossed that 50%, and we're a little bit below it now. Correct.
Correct.
And we're sort of hanging out in this no man's land. I'll reiterate the same thing that I always say, which is that, you know, I've got a very long investment horizon and am very long-term bullish. You know, do we retest some of the lows? I don't know. But again, with my investment horizon, I'm totally comfortable hanging out long and being pretty long and pretty exposed. Because again, we know roughly how this is going to end, and we know roughly when it's going to end within a handful of months.
Very, very roughly. I actually do
within
you?
several months. You know,
I don't know that. I don't know if you. I don't know that.
I think that nobody's expecting that at this time next year we're still in the same situation. You know,
True.
so
Yeah.
people are throwing out June,
yeah.
July, you know, as the dates to return to normal. You know, maybe it's 3 months after that July date. Maybe it's sometime in May we start to get some of those rolling opens. You know, we don't know exactly, but you know, we've got at least somewhat of an idea.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Somewhat of an idea from a virus standpoint, maybe not an economic standpoint. The economic picture is a little bit cloudier.
Absolutely. And we've
Luke,
got
I
all
did want to
this free
ask
money
you.
floating around now too.
I wanted to ask you. You said when you were buying on that decline, I thought you said that with some of the spiders and stuff, if it got back, I thought you said like you said somewhere in the 270s that you were gonna.
270 was my average price on the way down that I bought in at.
But yeah, but didn't you say you were gonna at some point you were gonna start lightening up a little bit too, or not?
Yes, I haven't yet.
Okay.
But as I get green is when I'll start to lighten up.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So
Okay.
so I'm pretty much, you know, more or less break even. You know, we're a couple points above the 270 now on the SPY, the ETF I use. Haven't yet, but you know, it continues to tick higher. I'll start to unload and get back down towards around 100%.
Okay.
100% long.
All right, man. Well, let's. You want to talk the banks, the airlines, or Tesla?
My pick.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna pick. Let's talk about the banks. The banks are hammered.
I was trying to talk just there, but I was on mute, so you guys didn't hear a word I said. But let's go with the banks. I was talking about the airlines, but I was on mute, so nobody heard me. Sorry about that. Banks it is. They are leaking again here today. Wells Fargo, you pull up any bank, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Bank of America. Morgan Stanley reports earnings tomorrow morning, and that's the most interesting to me right now because they do have a near-term catalyst here, but the whole sector is weak here. Again, second day in a row. Weakest sector.
Yeah, I mean they're getting hammered. The JP Morgan down 5% today, $4.82. If you feel like you have to own this one, what do we have? Like a 20-point rally there? Not quite. I mean, I talked about it coming into that 87, 88 area. That's halfway back, but I mean, I think at this point you're really catching a falling knife. Wells Fargo, same thing here. That's getting dangerously close to its low of the move. I know Goldman is having a good day. Well, was having a good day. That was trading higher. Did they have earnings this morning? We did not get a chance to cover them?
We discussed them, I think.
We discussed
No,
earnings.
no, we talked Goldman this morning. They had earnings. We talked about that.
Okay. Yep, it was green. It's still green. It's still green by 20 cents here. We're chopping around. We just had that 340 in balance and
350.
Yeah, 350 and not I'm trying to go to the minute chart here. We were trying to rally back and then we had a little bit of a whoosh down. So you might be seeing some sell imbalances here. We'll wait for the official. The last couple days they've kind of haven't been going according to Q. So not much. I know a little bit of a spike down here on the 1 minute chart, but nothing like you saw the last few days.
So and the numbers weren't horrible. Yeah. Like the numbers out of Bank of America. I think what's doing it is they had a massive provision for loan losses.
Totally agree. And digging a little bit deeper into that loan loss potential, it's consumers, it's weak consumers, right?
Exactly, and that's why
JP
Goldman Sachs is more protected.
Exactly. I was about to say the same thing, Luke. Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, a little bit more protected than from the average consumer than Bank of America, Citi, JP Morgan. So yeah, Wells Fargo too. It all just comes down to the weak consumer. You agree?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
and these banks too. I don't know how much people are building this in already, but these banks should make a lot of money from those SBA loans, so those small business loans, the free Trump money. Because they get somehow get cut into the loans that they're doing, and the program set up where every small business in the country, it makes sense to apply for them.
Yep. Luke, you got to get us some of that money.
Right.
I want to move on to the airlines here. Just we saw them leak a little bit in the pre-market session, and they leaked harder and harder into the open, and they leaked after the open as well. Delta Airlines got down to almost $23 even, and it was at 27.
Yeah, it had wow, another day of highs in the 25 handle. Boy, someone made some good sales there. Just give you the highs over the last few sessions: 25.53, 25.06, 25.29. You had that higher open, but you ran it up to 25.50, and that seller was out there again. Yeah, you did take out the low from yesterday, but you're back above it now. Couple looks like you're gonna have a pretty much a matching close here. We got about 7 minutes to go. That was, there was a surprise of a deal, and street is I mean, going through September, I don't think that gives people a lot of confidence.
Exactly.
Yep,
It's a
yep.
temporary solution.
Right. Just like people are asking about JetBlue and these stuff. You just wanna, you want to see us, get the economy going, get people back to work and things going, and then I think that's when those stocks. I think they got a tough road to hoe. You do have lower oil prices, that's good, but empty planes is a hard thing to overcome. S&Ps
Yep.
continue to leak here. I didn't see the actual imbalances yet.
500. I'm seeing 550 million to sell.
Yeah. Yep, we did have that little whoosh down. So giving back a good portion of today's gains here, 2770, mostly attributed to the banks and the airlines giving up the ghost.
Yep.
And I got some thoughts on some names I like. I don't know if we had time for that.
Yeah, sure. Go for it. And then I also want to get some thoughts on people in the chat what they traded today and what they made money on or lost money on. But Luke, take the floor.
All right, I'll go quick then. First one up, one of my favorite names right now, NYT, New York Times.
Still,
the development here. Again, my thesis is with everybody working from home, with having a crazy news cycle. Traffic and subscriptions should be way up and should explode. We had CNBC came out and they said their March was the most traffic they'd ever gotten in a single month, and their subscription sales are up 186% versus January. So nothing crazy on the stock yet in terms of performance. But it's, a little bit of information to add to the thesis. JP Morgan out this morning with an overweight rating on the stock and a $42 price target.
All right. You gotta like that. That just hanging out. Participated in the rally early, but has been under pressure as of late. I'm sure you're keeping an eye on the low of the move there, low in the move in New York Times. What did you do that? Probably on March 20. Nope. The 18th, you made a low at 29.15. So keeping an eye on that one. Boy, you sure like to see it get back over the pair of highs. Let's call it 37. That split some highs from 3 and 4 days ago.
All right. Was that it, Luke?
And then I'll throw out another one. Stryker, another name that I like. They make medical equipment and supplies, like a lot of the hospital beds. It's also just been sort of hanging out in a limbo world. But JP Morgan also out on that one with an overweight rating and a $210 price target. So just a couple updates there on the names I'm watching.
Nice rally, a little bit of a pullback from the recent rally, maybe a little consolidation and a move higher. But that chart looks better than the New York Times.
Yep.
All right, from the chat, this is one I want to go to. Slack. Full disclosure, I nibbled a little bit into this one last week, somewhere around the $23 range. Very good day today, up 10%. I was going to ask Eric Kroll on the show this morning about Slack, but then I decided not to. But recent IPO, and it's up big today, Joel.
Yeah, it is. It is part of the old work at home, right? And gaining subscriptions, and we make good use of it. Good day for it, along with the other stay-at-home stocks. Sure like to see it clear $30. I remember someone in the other chat. That's your major resistance. 3 days in a row, let's call those highs at 29.60. It splits the highs from the 26th, 27th, and 30th of March. So that's your major resistance. Good volume today on an up day, so you like to see that. And looks like you're going to be closing near the highs in the session as the S&Ps here are trying to get up off the mat here in the last few minutes of trading. Western Digital, I played that stock a long, long time ago, and I got out of it. I know Dennis has played it. It looks like for several months, you had support at the $40 area, 35 to 40. Got shellacked with that 27.40 low. So not really acting as well as some of these other stocks. Let me look at Seagate. That's SEG, right? Or what's Seagate?
That's STX.
STX. Seagate looks to be performing a little bit better. I don't know. This chart, this Western Digital chart, just doesn't look that great to me. Really had the break, but man, this thing's been in a downtrend for a while, Ramis. So I'm hands off on that one.
And then I have one hot stock on my radar. Unlike Luke, I don't really own too many hot stocks, but this is the hot stock that I own. Inseego, INSG, has ripped here these past few days. And Luke actually gave me some good advice. I was stressing about, well, what do I do? And Luke said, dude, just put in a trailing stop. So that's what I did. Good, great call, Luke. So I've got
I like that because if the momentum's going, you just let it ride. Don't fight the trend. And then if it does start to come back to reality, you're still above where you were.
I would say the only thing here for your Seago traders, you got a pair of highs here, 12, 13, 12 and a quarter. You're going to close up near that area as well. So that's the good news. But that's how you got to clear out that seller. Someone has been wiggling out above 12, but you're not too far. I don't know what the all-time high is. This the all-time high in this one? Oh no. Holy mackerel.
Not even close.
Was this a reverse split or was this for real?
This is a .com darling, I think.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, Spencer can't even go back that far.
I can't actually.
They were super hot in some of those early tech days, Joel. It was basically they made all those mobile hotspots, and like the idea was that everybody, every person in America and on the earth was going to have, a mobile Wi-Fi hotspot in their pocket, which obviously didn't pan out.
Yeah, right. Definitely got to get above 12 and a quarter there. All right, well, we're closed here. Not too far from where we opened. I always like to keep an eye on that. That would be the day session. The day session, we opened up at 27.73. We still have another hour of trading here before we got the 4:15, and then of course the extra clearing up to 5 p.m. But a couple points from where we started. Big level tomorrow and moving forward, folks. As long as we stay above that 27.51 and a quarter, that matches the low from yesterday, then Mr. Bull's still in charge. Did not, we talked about the 50%. We did get a close way above it yesterday, but we didn't get two consecutive closes above it. So that's not the greatest thing. That's 27.86. hard to use that as a level because it's traded through it so many times. But for the bulls, hold that 27.50, get another close over that 50%, and perhaps take a poke at yesterday's high, which was matching highs from Friday. So kind of like a nothing day, kind of gave back what we did yesterday, and
I'm with you.
and settling here in the middle of the intraday range.
Spice, to answer your question quickly, I use a trailing stop on a percent basis, not on a dollar basis. So it's set to trail the stock by 20% right now. So should it fall 20%, I would get done and be out of there. So I just use a percentage basis for my trailing stop order, but it's really personal preference. All right. Thanks a lot to Hot Stocks Luke Jacobi. Please remember, all the information from this broadcast is meant to be used as informational purposes, not for investing or trading advice. Joel and I will be back with Dennis tomorrow morning, and we'll be joined by Mark Chaikin from Chaikin Analytics at 8:15. In the meantime, everyone, have a great rest of your day. Be safe out there, and that's it. Be safe. Have a good one.